Bum, bum, da 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 da, bum, bum, da.
Meet me at the pata. Hey guys, what's up? We are starting another weekly vlog. So exciting because it is Thanksgiving week. I have a few days off this week, which I never get off, and I'm really excited to make some food and spend time with my friends. I'm not gonna lie, I need it, okay? And there's nothing better than reading during a holiday break. So I have a few books on the TBR for this week. I don't know what I'm going to be getting to per se. It might change, it might not. But for now, this is what I kind of want to read this week. So first and foremost, we have, I don't know where one of the books is, and it's kind of freaking me out, where I just read it the other day. Anyway, so the TBR is as follows, okay? We're gonna start off with Fang Fiction. This one is essentially about an assault survivor who gets into what I imagine is like True Blood. It's a like show or movie based off of books, and she's like such a big fan of the books that one day when the main character walks into the hotel that she manages, she cannot believe it, okay? The kicker here is that he is a vampire, and they end up doing like a blink twice situation where she goes to an island with him, and you know, obviously in Blink Twice there aren't vampires, spoiler alert, but they are with like a bunch of millionaire, bagillionaire vampires, and the plot ensues. I believe there's a love story. I'm not really sure. Mixed reviews on this one. It just looked interesting and I bought it, so I really want to get into it. The next book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog is The Paper Palace, which I'm going to be vlogging for our Patron Picks Our TBR vlog. So that one we won't have the BTS feelings of, but general thoughts perhaps as I finish it. This one is essentially Sherman. That's my son. The Paper Palace is about these two people who were friends when they were younger, but they ended up not getting married to each other. Fast forward to them in their adult lives. They are caught at a party cheating on their spouses. This one is a book that my mom picked because she's the patron for our Patron Picks Our TBR. She said it was really good. It has a really good plot twist. It also is a Reese's Book Club pick, so I feel like this one is going to be really good. I just haven't started it yet, so I cannot even tell you general vibes. Like general thoughts, general feelings. I can't even describe to you what it is, but I think it's going to be really good. So I'm excited to get into this one. I think it's going to be a very quick read because that's usually how Reese's Book Club books are. The next book that I need to read this week and also want to read is this fantasy romance called The Last One by Rachel Housel Hall. So this one is interesting because essentially it's about this woman who wakes up in the forest with no idea where she is or what's happened to her, but all of her things have been stolen by a thief. As she follows this thief, she realizes that the land she is in is a land of sickness, and everyone just doesn't look well. Like, it's not good. She ends up meeting this blacksmith who does this like really crazy like blacksmith, like I'm gonna show off my skills with these metal objects situation, and offers to like team up with her to figure out this mystery of like why people are dying in this kingdom. And that is the premise of this story. They're trying to figure out what is making the kingdom sick while other secrets are revealed. I'm excited for this one because the first line is really what got me. I'm a few pages in but the first line says, "I open my eyes and choose violence." Miss Rachel, tell me that they are gonna have an enemies to lovers romance because I will literally be there so fast. So I haven't gotten like too far into this one, so we are gonna be adding it to the vlog for this week. And then last but not least, we just got this in from Zando Books. It's called Lights Out. This is a stalker romance, but the kind of stalker romance where the guy stalks her, but then another guy ends up wanting to kill her. So our stalker ends up being like the protector. And those are the kind of books I freaking love. I cannot wait. This is gonna be a dark romance, of course. And I think the stalker also wears a mask, very similar to like Ghostface, like something like that. This one I've heard a lot about on the internet, and a lot of people really love this book. So I cannot wait to get into this one because I am not the biggest fan of stalker romances, but I've heard nothing but good things about this one. So I really think this one, I'm gonna eat it up. And Xando never, literally never steers me wrong, okay? Never steers me wrong with these like kind of dark themed romance books. Like, I don't know. I'm just always having good luck with these because they also, you know, Butcher and Blackbird. So if that's anything like that, I'm gonna love it, and I cannot wait to get into this one. Let's see where the wind takes us with this TBR. But yeah, these are the books that I'm going to potentially be getting to, probably, most likely, and maybe a few more, who knows, because we have some time off, like I said, this week, and I am currently going to be doing some admin work around the house. Me and Monique are also trying to pick out desks for our office. The big deal with that is that we cannot decide, of course, we cannot decide on the same desk because Monique wants it to look very like polished, very similar, like mirror images of itself. And I don't mind that. It's just that we can't agree on the same desk to be, you know, mirrored to each other. So hopefully today we are going to be picking that out for sure. Just going to be editing some videos for some sponsorships that we have this month, and yeah, answering emails, doing that kind of a thing. It is a cozy, very day outside, so I'm hoping that I can get some reading done. I don't know, I might start an audiobook, which won't even be on this TBR pile, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you know. See you in a little bit. Woo! Ooh, my hair is not well. I'm here to check in about this book right here, Lights Out. Let me tell you, this is such a cute stalker romance, okay? I am not the biggest fan of stalker romances. I think they can get really creepy really quickly, and a lot of times the guys are just like not cute. I don't know how to describe it. You know, I feel like them kind of like pushing their will onto the women. It's very annoying. I don't like it. It's like very dubious consent, which this does have dubious consent in it, but let me just preface it by saying our main character is like into this life. She's into the stalker life. She's into kind of like having this fantasy of hooking up with this masked kind of like character. And I have to say, every time I pick up this book and he describes his mask, I'm just thinking of Ghostface, which I don't want to say is like a kink of mine, but like I'd be lying if I said I didn't think that was a little cute, a little spicy. So I think there are like some big differences between this and like the other stalker romances, dark romances that I've read before. Our main character is like into it from the get-go. I also think it's fun how like this guy has a social media for his Ghostface character, which is like, it's a very real thing. Like I literally followed someone around Halloween time who had a Ghostface mask and would post thirst traps. That's like literally what this guy does. I have to say I'm loving it. I'm like more than halfway. I'm on page 212. I'm literally about to finish this right now and call it a good day. I started this less than 24 hours ago. Oh my gosh. I started this at like 9 last night and it's 4:16. I'm about to finish this book. I totally am going to finish this book. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment right now. The other thing I wanted to say that I think makes this book so fun is that these two characters spend a lot of time talking to each other. There's a lot like going on between them that I think is different than a lot of the stalker romances that I've read just like in recent years. Like this guy's a hacker and he's following her and he's placing cameras in her house and like blah 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 blah, but like they both are into this kind of behavior, and it's not like she doesn't know. Like I think she literally figured it out like upon their second encounter. She was like, oh, it's definitely this guy. Like she's smart, which I also love. So really this book has nothing bad about it. Like I'm just having a great time. And also I just found out it's part of a trilogy. Ha ha ha. Wow, you've really sold me. Like what does that even mean? There are more stalkers? Or it's about them. Nevessa, I don't want to say that you have bewitched me body and soul, and I love you. But that's kind of where I'm going right now. So thank you so much for writing this book, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. I just realized I can actually show you guys how basic I am. That's my baby, that's my boo. I'm just gonna put that down. It is a rainy day in LA. It is literally 5 o'clock. Can you see how dark it is out there? Just look really quick. Speaking of dark, I need to re-dye my hair before Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm doing, while also telling you guys that I finished this book. What the heck is this book? Head empty, all the thoughts, but head is still empty. I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting from this. I feel like the ending was very not solid, as in like, I don't know what she chose in the end. I kind of hate books like that, where I don't get a solid ending that says she died, or like she was with whoever, or she decided to live her best life. I, unfortunately, am the person who needs answers. I didn't get it from the end of this book. So now I'm at a precipice, if you will. You know, I'm here, I've got my phone. I'm like, should I just go ahead and start another book that I didn't talk about in the intro? Okay, because this would be an audiobook. I might start something. I didn't mean to leave you hanging. I'll let you know what I get to.
Kevin smirk.
Ooh, okay, can't read that one. This one, okay, I have a thing. Sorry, I'm looking for my color. I have a thing about audiobooks where I feel as though I have to be reading like a romance, essentially, because I'm such a bad audio learner. Oh my god, that's definitely not my hair color. That like I have to have something that's like low stakes, because if I don't, then I literally don't know what's going on. Literally don't know what's going on. Not that romance isn't not high stakes. It's just usually, it's a romance, you know? It's just like a fun, silly, kooky time. I can't read a sci-fi on audio. I'm gonna start a new book. And I'll let you know what that is when I start it. I don't know why this is giving Adam Sandler. Anyway. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
Mely in the series is pushy, domineering, and manipulative. He goes beyond my typical morally gray anti-hero and is, in my opinion, an actual villain who gets his HEA. Triggers include dubious consent, forced feeding, graphic violence, rough and explicit sexual content, forced proximity, betrayal, references to passive use and traumatic reactions to triggering stimuli, knife violence, graphic depictions of blood, physical harm inflicted upon the main character, ritualistic murder.
That's it?
Grayson Thorne.
Say less. Yeah, babes. I'm on chapter 10 of a book I didn't even talk about earlier. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what that child's doing. I really don't know. Anywho, hello. Me and Monique just finished recording our reindeer readathon TBR, which is why I have this really fun Nutcracker mug, because we are Team Nutcracker. Hopefully you guys joined and you're on our team. And if you're not, good luck to you, because we're coming to slay it. I have been saying that catchphrase for the past couple of weeks, ever since we realized we were gonna be in this readathon again. And honestly, it's so annoying. It's even annoying me. Anywho, I just have an update on the Coven, which is a book I classically didn't talk about at all, but started reading in this vlog, so that's a fun time for me. It is the shortest book in America, and it is such a fun time. I feel like this is a silly, goofy time, and I needed this after the end of The Paper Palace, because I really meant it when I said head empty, all the thoughts. I don't know what to do with myself after that book. I'm just kind of like, what is the point of life? What is going on? I really need to talk about it with somebody, so I need Monique to read it, but that's neither here nor there. Here, we are talking about The Coven by Harper L. Woods. This is essentially about, what is this about? It's like a fantasy romance where witches and what they call vessels in this book, but they're essentially vampires, kind of have this symbiotic relationship where, you know, the witches need the vampires need the witches, right? Everybody's made a deal with the devil, but the witches are trying to like essentially live without the vampires. Like they don't want to live with the vampires anymore because everybody has a lot of power and the witches just want to be top, right? So enter in our main character, Willow. She is like a green witch, and what that means is each witch has like a different affinity. There's like earth witches, sky witches, death witches, life witches, like different kinds. But she's a green witch, and she has basically been chosen to go to this school that has been closed for the past 50 years because of some like crazy thing that happened. I think a lot of people died essentially, and so they had to close the school down. But it has now been reopened. She's been chosen to go, and she doesn't really want to because she wasn't brought up to be in this life, but her mother has recently passed away, so she doesn't really have anybody like fighting for her, right? Enter in the Vessel, who is the... what is he? He's the headmaster of this school. He is a not morally gray character. If you guys remember any of the triggers that I said last night, like that were being read to me. And he is just out for himself. He doesn't have a heart. He can't love, you know, a recipe for success, if you ask me. But essentially it's about him and her kind of working together to figure out like what happened 50 years ago, what is kind of being like politically done in this school that like shouldn't be done because it's like bad for the witches, it's bad for the community, but this like certain sect of, you know, people in power are of course trying to like ruin things and become the most powerful witches of all time. So it is just a really fun world. There's not a lot of world building, but I feel like I'm getting a lot from the story, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I don't need a lot. It's just very straightforward. Like, and what I really like about this main character is that she doesn't have to learn how to be a witch. Like she has already grown up. She's like 20 years old. So she's not a teenager. She's not yet like an adult, but she does know a thing or two about her powers and like how to use them and wield them and stuff. And I really like that kind of a character because I'm just not into having to go through the whole trials and tribulations of like discovering you're a witch. Like now you have to learn how to use it. Like I guess because I'm older now, I'm just like, let's get to the point. I basically just really appreciate it when the main character already knows like what the heck she's doing. And she's already kicked ass in one of the first scenes of this book. It's very, very fun. And I think that's what I'm going to be reading today on audio and finishing because I'm at chapter 23 and that's about halfway through this book. So I am going to be continuing on with that book today on audio. I do have a few errands and stuff because it is the day before Thanksgiving. So I need to go to the grocery store. Also, I'm so sorry if you can hear my cat playing with his toy. I don't have the heart to get up and move it. But I'm going to be going to the grocery store today, aka Costco, to be getting some things for Thanksgiving. I want to go by Sephora because my makeup is separating so bad these days because it's so cold. So I need to go and like get a few things from there. And yeah, is that it? Is that everything? Is that everything that's going on? I think so. I think I'm just doing those two things. Anyway, I'm going to be reading the book. I'll keep you guys updated, and hopefully I get some B-roll. I'm classically so bad at this part of the B-roll process because I don't know. I don't think about it. Like when I'm in the car, I'm just like doobie-doobie-doo, driving to wherever. Oh, I think I am going by the P.O. box to see if we have any mail. Yeah. That's it. That's what's going on. I'll see you guys in the next update. Oh my God. Ooh. Ooh. That is cinnamony. Woo. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say it. This is not the lighting I perhaps wanted for the end of this vlog. But you know, desperate times call for desperate lighting situations. Okay, so let's like do a little wrap up of all the books that I just read. Thanksgiving has come and gone. Didn't even get a picture. I'm so sorry. I think I have a picture of maybe some mashed potatoes. I'll have to see about that though. But I did finish some books. That's what's important here. I finished both of these, The Coven and The Cursed, which, you know, I had a great time with these books. As soon as I finished The Coven on audio, y'all, I went straight into The Cursed. These were great books to read on audio during this time. I feel like during the holidays, it can get a little kooky. It can get a little crazy, especially with family or friends. And I feel like these two books were like just relaxed enough and like crazy world building enough that like I could enjoy them while I was doing chores around the house and like getting ready for Thanksgiving. The Coven, as you guys know, follows our main character whose name I'm blanking on right now. What is that girl's name? It's Willow. Okay. So Willow is essentially going to this dark academia witches coven school. Okay. It's run by, like I said, these vessels. They're AKA vampires, sort of. Ish. Okay, we're not gonna say that they're the same thing, but they definitely suck on like blood and like life source energy. Loved this one. I thought it was so fun. The author said that the main guy is like not seen as morally gray. I would definitely say that he's morally gray. He's definitely one of those guys that like is like touch her and you die type of dude. He's also very much like my way is the highway, but at the end of the day, he loves his girl and he's gonna do whatever it takes to like, one, keep her alive, and two, keep her happy. There were some moments where I was like, ooh, you are annoying me, but then he made up for it. And I just think this world is really cool. What ends up happening in this book and continues in The Cursed is a very cool world building situation. And guys, I cannot wait to get into the third one because it's going to be following like another couple in this series, as well as continuing the story with Willow and what are we calling him? What is his actual name? Grayson or Gray? I think she calls him Gray, even though his name is like Alaric Grayson Thorne. Whew. Anywho, these books are beautiful. These two books are also a lot of fun and highly recommend if you want like a silly, goofy, witchy, dark academia, perhaps some other stuff that I won't reveal, but it is definitely more than it seems, if that makes sense. The other book I want to wrap up really quickly because I didn't say anything about this in the end was Lights Out, y'all. I love this book, 5 stars. I'm gonna have Monique read it. It is so much fun. Definitely gives off like a very fun dark romance vibe. And like, honestly, like I said before, I really love the relationship. I feel like they really built it in a very good way in this book. Like they talked all the time. They were literally best friends. And you see that on page in this book. Now, is there like a crazy kind of like mafia trope at the end of this? Yeah, that was really random. I'm not gonna lie. But I thankfully am a mafia girly. So I just rolled with it. And I actually really like, I think what I like about the mafia like roles or like their thing is like it's very fast and furious, like family is everything, you know. So I think that's why I always love a mafia trope, because they really are about their family and like loyalty and stuff like that. Highly recommend this one if you're into the dark romance trope, the stalking trope. Like they really truly are best friends, and even if you aren't into those things, I feel like you might even just like it because they're like so good together. Like they really are so much fun. Their banter is great. They're smart asses, but they're also like really caring for each other and they support each other, which, you know, we all love. The last book I want to talk about, I got to like page 110 and I DNF'd this book. I'm so sorry. I don't want to talk badly about books, so I'm not going to say too much. I think for me, this one just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. It's got like a podcast element to it, which I'm not a huge fan of in books. And I just kind of thought that our main character was gonna have more of a concentrated storyline with like her and her love interest. This, I think, has a lot of characters starting out, which is very hard to kind of follow. And yeah, it just makes it like really hard to kind of know who is who, what is what. I actually really was vibing with, it's gonna sound crazy, okay? But like the assault storyline, because I wanted to know like how she was gonna get through that, like how she was gonna kind of like cope with that, because at the beginning of the book, she hasn't dealt with it at all. She's basically running away from the situation, right? And because of that, she's like dove into these vampire books, and that's kind of what's like healed her a little bit on this journey, but like she still has so much to do. So like for now, we're gonna DNF this one. I don't see myself continuing this right now. I feel like my brain was just kind of like skipping pages as I was reading this, and I just really didn't want to sit with it. I'm not going to unhaul it yet because I do think that the storyline could be a lot of fun to roll with. I just think right now I'm not into this. I'm not into this book. I'm not into this story. And yeah, I will pick this up I think maybe at another time. I'm gonna put it in my DNF file. Maybe we'll revisit it in 2025. Anyway, okay, so these books I finished. This book I DNF'd. I finished also The Paper Palace, which will be wrapped up in our Patron Pixar TBR. And I also finished the last one, which I actually ended up loving. Really enjoyed the end. I was screaming at the end of that book, y'all. Like, I don't even know if I actually vlogged any of it because I read it so quickly, but essentially read it and like was kind of confused at first about like where the book was going. Cause I was like, what is cause the main element for the last one is it's like a mystery because she doesn't know who she is, right? So she's trying to like figure out like who she is, where her powers are coming from, like why did she land in this random place? And that is so interesting to me because the author is a like mystery thriller writer. Like this is her first like romantasy book. So I think she did that so well in writing this book. Like she really pulled like the mystery elements into this fantasy book. So like the whole time you're just trying to figure out like what's going on, who is this person, you know, da 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 da. The modern language was really unique in this one. I'm not like the biggest fan of modern language, I'll be honest, but I can see why it was used in this book because it was like essentially making our main character more relatable and just like a character that everyone can kind of see themselves as, like every woman at least can kind of see themselves as. So yeah, headstrong, lovely. I loved the end. I love the plot twist at the end of the last one, and I cannot wait to get into the second one, y'all. I'm like, what is gonna happen? What is gonna happen? I would love to talk to somebody about this book if you guys would like to, but I just have so many theories on the next book. I'm like, I can't even say anything because like spoilers. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I feel like everything that you think you know about fantasy books, she kind of like writes it in a way that's different, yet also following a lot of the romantasy tropes, which I think was fun. Like, I just think that was fresh and fun, and I think the idea behind this world was really unique and new. It didn't seem like it was based off of anything that I've read before, any kind of like lore or anything like that. It does kind of have a magic system, a religious system based off of Christianity, I believe, because there is like one singular like being in this one, but it's not Christianity in the book, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to think of like the religious system in this book, I believe it is like that, but it also has like different deities and gods and things, so it's really not the same. Yeah, it was very good as well. Okay, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, I DNF'd 1, 4, 5. That's pretty good. That's such a good reading week. This many books. Anyway, okay guys, so that is it. That is going to conclude the vlog for this week. So thank you so much for joining me for another weekly vlog. Yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of these ones or if you're interested in any of them. I would love to chat with you about it. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, yada yada yada. All the information is down below. And you know, if you don't have anything to say, or if you'd like to say something but you haven't thought of anything yet, why don't you just leave me this cute little emoji right here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Bum bum da 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 bum bum da.